Hello, welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. I've got some new projects to share with you with a new graphic collection and what I've done with this graphic collection and how I've used it. And what I've done is I've made these cute little snowman assemblages, I guess you would call it, altered ribbon spools. I use empty ribbon spool and I'm going to show you how to put it together. I don't really like this guy's tassel there, but I was just experimenting. So, and I've used some holograph paper, if you can see, which, in other words, so I printed on photo paper and just make sure that it was protected. I used the holograph paper that you can get easily at Amazon, and that protects it. You could also laminate it if you wanted to. Let me get the paper here. This is really pretty stuff. Happy Bird's Glitter Nest was the one that I got this idea from. She used it to cover some of her ornaments, and it looks so pretty, so I went right out and bought it, of course, and had to try it. And I really like the way it's very subtle. It doesn't like glare at you. You have to really turn it to see it. And so what I've put on here is some appliques and some snowballs. Well, they're really pom-poms. And I used a lot of this Snow-Tex. I love this stuff. Now, this is a big bottle, 16 ounces, and I get it from Amazon. I only have to buy it once a year, if even that, sometimes once every 2 years. So I don't mind paying the price, and it has gone up quite a bit. But I know there's a lot of recipes online on YouTube to tell you how to make your own Snow-Tex. So if you're into that, that's great. I'm not into that because I don't use it that much, and I really like the texture of this. And it's not too wet, it's not too thick, you know, it just works for me really well. So it's all in your preference what you want to do. So what I did is I put a tree here, a little Christmas tree, and I got a ton of these trees from Amazon at Christmas time. There was a whole bunch of them. Pretty good price too, all one color and all different sizes. So that's another thing, and I'm sure they're still available. I mean, winter does, when you're in the woods, there are trees, right, with snow on them. And what I did here is I put these little hearts from Hobby Lobby. This one says Only You, and this one says True Love, and a button. And this is a banner, and it comes with the project. I have this as a project kit in my Etsy shop, as well as other snow graphics, snowman graphics, and I will show you some of them before we get going. But I put some flowers in her hair. I got to be thinking about the light here. And all around here I used the Snow-Tex, but all around this one I used appliques from a wedding gown because I have a ton of them, so I might as well use them. So anyways, that's what I've been doing and having fun messing around with it. And I'll just show you a couple of there are 10 altogether, 10 different snow prints, snow couples prints. I think there's one snowman, yeah, and the rest are all male and female. And this is just an example, and this is done on the Epson presentation paper, so you get a really beautiful picture. And that's why I like to protect it too with that holograph paper. Now this is a project paper. This is what I've got, 2 of them in with this collection. There's a total of 20 graphics. I've got banners, I've got a little snow pail, it says Let It Snow, and I've got some signs that say Let It Snow in the graphic collection. If you go over to my Etsy shop, you will see the whole collection. I've got everything that's in the collection is in the Etsy shop as samples, and you'll be able to see it. So what you get is you get this page, as well, and then another page just like it, but they have this couple on it. And then you cut them out and use whatever you want. I used the banner for this couple here that I'm going to do. I thought because it kind of looked like they're holding a banner. This couple didn't really look like they are holding anything, but I thought a pretty cute little pail of snowballs would look cute there. So if you like snowmen and you've got someone else who likes snowmen, other people, and you got to make a gift, or you want to make a decoration for your house, or you can even sell them at a craft show. So when you print out your paper to cut out the snowmen, there is a little gray outline all around the snowmen, so that you can, because if you print it on white paper and then cut it, it's difficult. So I gave you a little gray line, and just cut in the line, next to the design. You cut that gray line off, or you can keep it there if you want to. So that's what I'm going to do. This is a cute and cheap little project, and the graphics aren't that expensive, and it's an easy project, and it works up really fast. I've just been playing around with a lot of other things, so I have to get my act together. So the first thing that we're going to do is every ribbon holder seems to have a hole in the middle. Now these were quite small. The holes were quite small in these because they're smaller ribbon holders. This is the only one I have left. So what I did was I took some foam, styrofoam, and using my craft knife, I kind of eyeballed to see how thick I thought that might be. And I cut me a piece, and I want to fill up that hole because that's where I want to stick the snowmen in. Looks like I got a little too much there. That's the way it always goes, So I'm going to stick this in here, and I'm going to hot glue it in there because I want it to stay. Now you should fill it right up. Mine, I'm going to do that. I'm going to fill it up. My goodness, how deep is that hole? Oh, it's pretty deep. My other one was a little tiny hole, and it didn't take nothing to fill it. So, of course, I pick one that's got, mega rooms in there. It's an apartment building. Okay. Yeah, that's feeling better. Put some glue. You do have to build it up because you want the snowmen to be secure and not be falling in some hole after you put them in there. And we are going to cover this up after we put all that in there. We're still going to cover it up. What you do next is decide what color of paper you want to cover the top and the bottom. And for the bottom, I'm just going to take a piece of this poster cardstock. What is this? I use this so much. Let me see. Okay. And I'm just going to glue that on there to keep it secure. I need some more glue sticks. There we go. Okay, so that's secure. I think I need a little bit more of this. I want that to stay nice. And so what I did was I traced around. I put one of them on a piece of paper, and I traced around it with my pencil, and then I cut it out, and I cut out two of them, one for the top and one for the bottom. And what I did is also, I just kind of put a little X where this is, and I'm just going to cut a piece. I don't want it real big, but I want to know it's there. I'm going to cut some of it out, and I can see the foam there. Then I'm going to hot glue it. And you don't have to worry too much about the edge. I put a lot of snow around my edges. And if I didn't have snow or didn't want to do snow, I did appliques. And I thought that looked really pretty. And then I went back over with the snow and put snow on the appliques. I really like the snow text. I like the way it just gives you a real wintry feel. So we do this, get our spool ribbon covered, turn it over, fight with the glue strings and don't let them win, because then they're all over the place. Okay. Just hot glue is fine for these kind of projects. And like I said, you don't have to worry about the edges. You're just going to cover them up anyways. But I want this to be the top. Then the next thing you have to think about is the core. Because, you know, if you're going to put anything over this, and what I put over mine was from this netting from the Dollar Tree. So what I did is I measured how wide this was, and then I cut me a strip of cardstock and put it on there. Glued it on. And you don't have to glue it all the way around. Just glue it in a couple spots. And then when I put my blue on there, my blue netting, it'll look okay. And that's what I did with these. You can see there's white underneath. And this one I put a trim along it. And what I did for the netting, I did 3 layers of it. I figured about 10 inches was a good amount to cut off. So let's go. That's 20. Okay. Then I put it on my mat. And I know that it's about 2 3/4. So 1, 2, I'm going to just go to here. I'm going to go to 2 1/2, I think. And I just follow the line. The thing is tricky to cut, let me tell you. Gets stuck on the blades. Okay, and then I'm going to compare it. Yep, that's good. So I'm going to take, where are my pins? Over here. Okay. I'm going to take some straight pins. You don't have to use whatever you want. You could use material. I think material would look pretty, maybe. But you could also use paper, which I was going to use, but I didn't have anything right there that looked good that I wanted on there. So I thought of this as like a snowy type situation. The netting, I've had it for a long time and didn't have any reason to use it. So I thought, well, this is a good time to use it. So that's what I did. Okay, so that's 2 layers. Gonna get me 1 more layer. I did do 2 layers the first time, and I really like the 3 layers better. It really works better. I just lay it over the whole thing. I love the pink they have of this at the dollar store. I finally got some. My dollar store was out of it for quite a while. And I have the white. So, and I have purple, I think. I'm pretty well set in that way. Okay. Now let's see if I hack this up good enough. I really hacked it up. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I need to trim that a little bit. Okay, I'm going to trim it down. I may speed this part up for you. Who wants to see all that cutting? You can fast forward too. I do that all the time when I'm watching somebody. I'm like, okay, I've seen you do that now for 10 minutes, and I don't even know why I stood there and watched for 10 minutes. Do you ever do that? You fast forward, get through stuff? I mean, I just want to know what it looks like in the end. I can look at stuff and pretty much figure out how to put it together, because I've done it all my life. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm still having a problem here. Okay, I got it straightened out. So I have 3 layers here. And I'm going to... I forgot to bring my spatula over. And I'm not going to glue it all the way around like the paper. I'm just going to glue it at the top and or you know, in the beginning and in the end. That's all you need to do. Because it's going to stay. It's not going nowhere. Because you're not going to use it for anything but to look at it. Okay, so there you have your cone. It's ready. Now remember which side is the front and which is the back. Top and bottom. And what I do here is I take... I'm going to take... These are skewers for barbecues. And I use my wire cutters. And I cut a couple pieces. And then I put them into, it's not going to stay. Wow, I didn't put enough in there. Well, what I'm going to do, then I think I'll make them like, if that happens to you, you can make the wood be like 3 pieces, and that should, you know, it's always when you're on camera that nothing works out. You can ask anybody. When you're home, it's no big deal. And everything works out. Thank goodness, right? But none of us would be on here. Okay, so I've glued these 3 together, and let's see how... Yeah, so now it'll stay. And then I'll just glue... I'll glue this here some more. I always put my sticks in, the thing I'm going to glue my project to, my snowman to, first. I don't glue them onto the snowman first, because you don't know where you want it. And then when the sticks are there, you're like, okay, now you can figure it out, because now I know I'm going to put it there. That's the first layer, and then I'm going to do the second layer to cover that. So it doesn't matter. Don't get nervous. You're going to cover that after you put it on, but you need to know where you want them to stand and how you want them to stand. So that's how I've got mine. And also the snow text, you will be able to put snow text in the front and in the back to cover up the glue. So you don't have to worry about that. But then I want it to pop out even more. So I've got me some double-sided foam tape that I got from the dollar store. And I want to be mindful not to put it where the sticks will be. So I'm going to put here. Their hats are always important to get up there. And it looks like the basket here. I don't know if you can see that. And I can do the arms. And here we go. And this looks like the area where the sticks are. Let me see if I'm right. And if they're a little crooked, you can cover it with snow. So I'm going to take the paper off of the dots. Now this is tricky. You have to be quick and you have to be thinking about what you're doing. You can't be thinking about what you're going to do tomorrow or what your next project's going to be. You really need to pay attention when you're putting these foam dots on, because trust me, once you've got them on, they're on unless you rip the whole thing apart. So, see there it caught. Very carefully, I'm going to start. This is hard to do on camera. I'm going to start where I know it matches, and then I'm going to keep going and hold my breath. And I did it. It matches. It's good. It's good. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to put the holograph paper on. And you do it, first you got to open this up. And this is the hardest part. You might need a pin. You could put some tape there and pull it away. There's a lot of different ways to do it. I should have done this before. Maybe I'll do that. Sure enough, as soon as I turned the camera off, it came right up. Okay, you pull it up. Put your piece. Hope you can see this. And then rub it. I know the light is reflecting on there. And then you cut it out. And you cut right around your original cuts. And I will do that and be right back. And when you're done cutting, the backing will just fall off. And then you have your snow people, your snow couple. And it stays on there nice and secure. Now I showed you how to put this on with the double-sided foam tape, and I forgot to put the holograph paper on, so now I just went and did that. So now I'm going to just attach it with some glue quickly. I'm not going to be real fussy about it. Hot glue does just fine for something like this. And there, that makes me very happy. Okay. All right, so now we're ready to decorate. And what I decorate with is the snow text. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is cut out the banner that is here. It'll come on this page, and you'll get two of them. I only cut out one because I think that's good enough for right now. And I only cut out one on them too. What I did was I didn't cut it all the way up because I want it to, let's get down here closer. I want it to be more stable. So what I'm going to do is cut a piece of paper, skinny piece of paper. And I'm actually going to glue it kind of in the middle on the back, like that, so that it'll be stable. Then I'll take the rest of those pieces out. I'm just going to put some Eileen's Tacky Glue on here. Kind of glue it so that it's stable. And then I can cut the rest of it out like this. And I know it's not going to go anyplace. And I can attach that to here, which I'm going to do with some dollar store Pop Dots, double-sided foam tape. I love this stuff. I mean, it really works well. Okay. sure that's glued right. Take off the backing. Okay. I'm just going to put it where I think it looks good. And I think that looks good. And there we have the banner. Oh, it's a little crooked. Well, I can straighten it, I think. See, the nice thing too about this holograph paper, you can take off the foam dots, and well, that don't look too good. I always mess up when I'm doing stuff on camera. I don't know about you, but I guess it's just I can't really see what I'm doing. And now when I put the blue on here, the blue paper, it was darker than this, and I'm noticing quite a difference. This almost looks white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of this off. I'm going to double layer it, and I'm just going to glue it on here and then cut some. I did bring my spatula. Okay. Don't mind the crookedness of these poor snow ladies and gentlemen, because I will probably just end up throwing this away anyways. It's just for this show. This show, yeah. I have my own craft show. Well, if you want to call it a craft show, or you might want to call it a crap show. I don't know. Okay. And I'm just going to cut it. I normally would have cut this out before I put these snow people on, but I forgot to do that. So you're seeing a real live mess up here. Okay, but it's not too bad, it turns out. And if you wanted to put paper here on this section, you can do that too. I can see where some of that, I have different scissors for paper and different ones for fabric. I'm sure you do too, because they dull out so fast. You could put decorative paper here. I put appliques. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just doing a little cheating thing here. If it isn't folded, it lays down flatter better. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on here. You can always fix your mistakes if you think about it. Some people just need more glue, of course. Some people just prefer to throw things away. My mother was like that. Oh my gosh, she would get so upset. And she'd just throw everything. Mom, don't be so upset. We'll redo it. No, we won't redo it. We're not going to do it at all. She had very little patience for anything. Okay, so I have a space here, but I'm going to cover it with snow. So it's not a big deal. You know, you can, the snow is wonderful for covering up your mistakes. And that's why I use it. And besides, they're snowmen. They got to have a lot of snow around them. We can't just leave them with no snow. Okay, so that looks better to me. It gives it a little bit more color. And actually, I like the dots. They look like snow. I don't know why I'm being so fussy with this. I'm just going to throw it out. Okay, so what I do is I put my embellishments on before I put the snow on. I mean, you might think putting snow on first would be a good idea, but no. You have to really pay attention to what you're doing. Now, like I like this piece here, and I like this idea of, I think though it's too scallopy, can't use it. Something like that, maybe that would be good up here. Lots of pearls, and you can cover this rough edge here. You know, if you've got one that doesn't go together well, is folded or old or something, then you can cover it. So what I'm going to do with her, with this, is just put this here. It doesn't matter if it's pearls. It's, you know, you're going to put snow on it. But you will have some pearls showing up, which I think is pretty. And then you want to do it on the bottom here. Put some glue. And then just go around and keep doing that. You might even want to put a lace on this bottom shelf here, bottom rim. I'm not going to do that right now because it takes too much time. This is also something pretty you could do. A little ruffle at the bottom and put a blue paper and then put snow all around. I like this ruffle, so I'm not going to put it on there. I'm going to save it for something I'm actually going to use it for. But also, the other thing is you can put your appliques on the cone part. And pretty it up that way. If you don't want to put a lot of snow on, you can do that. And that looks really nice. Really pretty. But let me get to the snow. Now I use a popsicle stick to put the snow on with. Let's get things out of the way. And if you've never used this before, it's really very easy. You just dip into your snow, okay, get some on your popsicle stick, and then spread it around where you want it. Now I want some right by them to cover up that they're standing up there. I want them to have some snow. I probably should have waited on the banner. I didn't think about it till now. And that's the way it goes. Well, I can still push some in there. And there can be some on the banner too. I mean, they are in a snowbank, right? Well, there's somewhere where there's snow. There's lots of it. We're going to give them a lot of snow. We want them to be comfy as snowmen. We don't want them to melt right away. So we got to give them some snow. Do the back so you can cover that up. Trying to do the back without really looking. It's kind of impossible. Okay, so I put a lot more on there. As you can see from the finished ones, I put a lot more. Oh, yeah, get out of the way here and here. I put a lot more on there. And I didn't put a ton on here, but I put a lot more. And I put it all around the edge. I'm not going to do any more with that because you get the idea what we're doing. Just finish them up, put snow around them. You can fill in these spaces. And then I added some flowers. I've got little roses that I can put on there that I did put on this one. I put a couple roses on here. A pink one and a white one or off-white. And then the snowballs, what I did was I cut the pail twice and I pop dotted in between, and then I stuck it on there and I hot glued the bottom of the pail. And what I actually did too with the pail is it's got a rounded bottom, and so I cut it straight across. After I cut it out, I cut the rounded bottom, then I cut the bottom off so that it would be straight. And it would stand easier in the snow. And it did. It didn't give me any problems at all. So you just cut out 2 of them and make the bottoms the same, and then put some foam tape in between. Stick them in the, hot glue them, and then stick some snow on them. Put some pom-poms in there if you want. And I added a tree, and I hot glued the bottom of it onto the ribbon holder. And then I used some snow to hold it. Then I put snow all over the tree. And there you have it, a pretty little decoration and just perfect for Christmas and cheap. And if you have friends, like I said, or special people that you make things for birthday presents or whatever celebrations, these are the cutest little things, and people really, really like them. So, and they're not that hard to do. So anyways, we're done, and I thank you for stopping by. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video.